Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teachers Do. Today I have with me Jared.
How you doing?
And today, well, funny enough, remember our very first Pro Teachers Do that you and I did? Superman the Dark Side.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing one that, I don't know if this came before or after, but this is the same creative team of John Francis Moore and Kieran Dwyer.
Oh, cool.
But this one, it's very different. Now, while it shares a similar title to that famous Supergirl, Batgirl, Elseworld, it's not where it was also called Elseworld's Finest. No connection whatsoever to it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so let's just dive. Oh, actually, give me a quick thing. Your thoughts, since that was so long ago, of what you saw about the dark side and what made that like a special Elseworld.
As a fan of like the new gods and stuff, because that's like always been one of my favorite components of DC lore. I liked how they basically merged Superman with the new gods in that way. Plus, I love that episode of Superman the animated series where it's like where he was the son of Darkseid. So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I like this. Plus, here's the thing. Some of my favorite stories of DC are Elseworlds because I think they do the Elseworlds one the best.
Oh yeah. So yeah, well, this one, no new gods. I'll make that clear. No new gods, but the mix up here is going to be interesting. As we let's just dive right in. Okay. When I consider the monumentous revelations and transformations that changed all of us in that faithful spring of '28, Captain Marvel by Raymond Beck, Lizardman of Atlantis. Holy moly, we've discovered the lost city of Atlantis. There's no sign of life anywhere. Doesn't that strike you as odd? Let's explore. Maybe we'll get our picture in the National Geographic. Careful, Barry. Careful, Barry. The last time you ran off, you nearly got eaten by a tiger. Don't worry about me, big brother. I can take care of myself. Hey, Barry, call me crazy, but I got a feeling someone's watching us. Don't be silly, Freddy. You said it yourself. This place is deserted. Like, uh-oh, Mary, I think the data have found us and they don't look friendly. Captain Marvel, help! Leave my friends alone, you amphibious bullies. Your lightning bolt blaster has no effect on them, Captain. Then I'll guess we'll have to sell this man to monster.
That's cool.
I marvel at how very young and innocent we were then. And that's Jeez, Captain Marvel's outnumbered. How's he even going to get out of this one? That's easy, Gabby. He'll give them mugs and the old 1-2, just like Gene Tooney. Phooey. Everyone knows there ain't no real lizard man. And hold on, I just ran my phone somewhere. Give me a sec.
Okay.
I just heard a chime.
Roger that.
Heck, where did I put it? Just a sec. Oh. Can you tell how prepared I am today?
I know.
Anyway, no, listen. I read in Weird Worlds magazine that Atlantis is home to a bunch of Aquamen who can breathe underwater. I think you can tell who these are.
Yeah.
The Newsboy Legion.
Yeah.
I beg to differ, Thomas, but your lurid pulps offer no more scientific validity than the funnies. In the opinion of scholars, Atlantis is only a mythology. And are you saying that Atlantis is nothing but a big fairy tale, big words? If you guys want the skinny on lost cities, you should meet my friend and the professor. He knows everything about history and archaeology and all that stuff. He's been around the world and back again. Ah, Christ, I'm late. I got to get to the university. I promised the professor I'd deliver him this morning's paper to his office. Jimmy Olsen was 12 that year, a product of a suicide slum orphanage. And ta, boys, higher learning costs. I can't be seen with uneducated ruffians like you anymore. I'm a college man now. Oh, the stuff he knows. And one of a legion of newsboys found on every corner of the city. Don't let them razz you, Jimmy. And here college is a real pip if you get in with one of them fraternities and learn their secret handshakes. Hey, you can't blame a guy who for not wanting to be a newsie all his life. One day, I'm going to get out as soon as I saw him and see the world. So yeah, and they're going to Schuster University.
There you go. I love that.
Running into Professor Lang, who is getting beaten up. Where is it, old man? You're learned man, Professor. And Professor, know that we've no wish to kill you. Cooperate, and we'll spare you any further pain. What are you guys doing to Professor Lang? Get out of here, Jimmy. Run! And Ishmael, that boy seen us. I'll get rid of him, Ghul. Yipes! Help! Gotta get help! Hey, where's the cop? When you need one? Ah! Get out of the road! Oh no, I'm dead. Had the truck hit Jimmy that day, none of what was occurred would have occurred. But Jimmy had a guardian angel waiting over him, in the form of the Daily Planet reporter Clark Kent. What's the scoop, pal? You ran the street as if your pants were on fire. Clark Kent, you can help me. You got to come with me to Schuster. You stupid little runt. You think lying in the middle of the road looks and like that's funny? Hey, and why don't you watch where you're going, you big ape? Jimmy, there's no need to provoke that gentleman. Your kid's got some mouth on him, mister. Jimmy didn't mean anything by it. He's just shaken up, that's all. Maybe I had to teach both you and your whelp a lesson for you. Hey, what happened to the front of my truck? One of the hazards of city driving, I suppose. I'm sure you can pound it out with a hammer. Serves them right. They head on over there to the Daily Planet. Of course, at 20, Clark Kent felt the farming community of Smallville and he left. Yeah, for the urban bustle of Metropolis, with a suitcase in one hand and his Smith & Corner typewriter in the other. 3 years later, he was on the Daily Planet's top news reporter. I've never been to the newsroom before. Normally, they keep us newsies at the loading dock. One more time, Jimmy. Tell me about what happened at Schuster, and try not to let things distract you this time. Okay, Clark. Hey, that's Raymond Beck. He draws Captain Marvel. Gee, Mr. Beck, Captain Marvel is the best comic strip ever. I wish I had the lightning bolt blaster to take out my enemies. I'd show them in Decker Street Kings a thing or two. Kazow! Do you have a point, son? Oh yeah. How does Cap get away from the little man? I'm dying to. Sorry, Ray. Jimmy, you'll have to wait until next Sunday, like everyone else in the city.
Oh yeah, because this is before they changed his name.
CC back, yes.
Mm-hmm.
God, oh, that's clever. It's like, do you have a point, son?
Yeah, I love that.
And here's the deal: you're not going to move from the chair until you tell me what happened. Okay, I was delivering the papers to Professor Lang when I see two guys working him over. Wait a minute, Professor Thaddeus Lang? I wasn't aware he was back in the country. Then one guy throws an enormous knife at me, and then the professor told me to run, so I did. Kent, we're not running an orphanage here. This is Jimmy Olsen, Mr. White. He witnessed an attack on the professor at Schuster University. Is the professor dead? I don't know. Then what are you waiting for, Kent? Go find out. A savage beating could be newsworthy, but a murder on a campus is front page news. We're on it, Chief.
I love that.
Lang's secretary said she dropped by after church to check on the professor and found the office ransacked and her boss missing. Hey, buddy, you can't come in here. It's okay, Bradley. Kent's the reporter to help solve the Sawyer kidnapping. Someday you got to tell me how you managed to show up at every major crime scene in the city. In this case, Inspector, Jimmy here brought me. I saw the thugs who kidnapped the professor. Okay, Buster Brown, what did these mutts look like? They were big and spoke with a heavy accent. One of them had scars all over his face. The other one had a huge knife. The professor wouldn't give them something they wanted. Sounds like a shakedown, but what could Lang have that was valuable? These academics don't raking a lot of dough. They weren't after money, Inspector. I'm Lana Lang. Mr. Underwood phoned me, and Mrs. Underwood phoned me. She called, and after she called you, Inspector. Have you found my Clark? Is that you? I've forgotten how blue his eyes were, and how much they reminded me of summer days in Kansas. By the way, if I recall right, there's no Lois in this story.
Oh yes! The story automatically gets 5 points.
Yeah. No, there's no Diana either.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me you were in Metropolis? I only arrived last week. Daddy came back to teach 3 months ago. You mind if I ask the questions, Ken? You said your father's assailants weren't after money. Then what were they looking for? It's not here. What's missing, Miss Lang? the Argos Codex. Argos? The Argos, as in the ancient Greek city. In Greek mythology, Jason journeyed around the world with the Argonauts, the sailors from the real city of Argos. An obscure Roman text recounted that Jason found an abandoned city of the gods, which his homesick sailors named Argos. My father has devoted years of his life trying to prove that this city really existed. But the city's only a myth, right? Like that other place, Atlantis? Captain Marvel's in Atlantis! 8 months ago, my father discovered a scroll written in ancient Greek in a language he believed to be that of Argos. Just as the Rosetta Stone allowed scholars to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics, this codex may be the key to unlocking the mysteries of Argos. Why take your father as well as the codex? They need him to translate the codex. If the city exists, a discovery could make someone very wealthy. It's time you let me conduct the investigation, Ken. After all, that's what this fine city pays me to do. I'll wait for you outside, Lana. Yeah, me too. Had I been alone, I might have grown frantic over my father's disappearance. But Clark's presence at my side was reassuring and familiar. And here's your hotel, Lana. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Clark, you're a regular knight in shining armor. Back at Smallville, you were always there for me. It makes me sure about the way, and I'm sorry about the way we left things. Lana, there's Lane's daughter. Look out! Threw something in his face. Ah! You will join your father. Step out of it, Clark. Feels so lightheaded. And that was one of the toughs who grabbed the professor. One sleep, and so yeah, runs over, and you can definitely tell this is not. This is Clark who clearly there's something on about him, but they're downplaying it.
Okay.
Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like gets over. Like, for years I was convinced I had dreamed that moment. Now I know otherwise. But that evening in May, who would have believed there existed a man who could race trains and stop a speeding car with his bare hands? I don't think Clark knew the full measures of his exceptional strength then. Clark, did you just rip the door off the car? Why, I guess I did, Lana. Imagine that. You meddling fool. You signed your death warrants. Watch out. I remember hearing the sound of bone breaking. Ah! My wrist! Who are you and what have you done with Professor Lang? You'll never know, American. And Lana, get the phone and call Inspector Turpin. Oh, that was Turpin. Your police will learn nothing from me. All glory to the demon. Ah! So yeah, he just combusted.
Oh, wow. Flame on.
Yeah. I've seen it happen once before in the marketplace in Tangerines. My guide said the man belonged to a secret cult of trained killers. And you know who these people are? And there you guys are. Couldn't keep up with you. I've never seen anyone move that fast. You're amazing. Holy cow, is that what I think it is? Oh, I'm going to be sick. There was a tattoo on his hand. Yes, the demon head, symbol of the League of Assassins.
Okay, there you go.
My father's their prisoner. There's only one man who can help him now.
As soon as I saw the tattoo on the hand, I was like, Ra's al Ghul.
Yep. You didn't have to come with me, Clark. You could be putting your life at risk. You're my oldest friend, Lana. If you're in a jam, I want to help. Sorry to interrupt you folks, but I want to let you know we'll be landing soon. Hopefully the ride wasn't too rough, Mr. Ken. Miss Lang said this was your first time in the air. I used to dream of soaring with the Eagles, Captain Jordan. Okay. I imagine this is as close as I'll ever get. And I'm going to check and make sure the cargo's secure. Clark, should anything happen to either one of us, if anything should happen to either one of us, please know that I never meant to leave Smallville without telling you goodbye. I was visiting my aunt in Erie when your father wired you to join him in North Africa. You didn't have to wait for me. Sometimes I imagine that I'd stayed I stayed, you and I would have been. Oh, let me know, you big lug. Looks like we have a stowaway. Hiya, Clark. Hi, Miss Lang. And you didn't think I'd let you leave me behind, did ya? Of course. At night, we're seeing someone else being chased.
Okay.
Maybe I should let you fall. Maybe I should, and you always said you had 9 lives, or are you down to your last one, Selena? The only son of a wealthy Gotham family. Bruce Wayne abandoned high society after the tragic deaths of his parents. If you think saving my life changes anything between us, you're mistaken. I don't care about you, Selena. All I want is what's rightfully mine. Mas Moncler, you cannot tell me all we had meant nothing to you. You'll never find someone who understands you like I do. someone who shares your passion for the night. If you truly knew me as well as you claim, you never would have stolen this from me. The necklace is worth almost nothing. Then why can't I keep it as a memento of our time together? It belonged to my mother. It's all I have left of her. And Bruce frequented a nightclub called the Blink at Noy, where the liquor was cheap and the jazz hot. So you and Mademoiselle Cairo are no longer an item. Alfred, remind me not to pick up any more strays. Ha! Then you're free to come with me to Oliver Queen's party at the Ritz. I'm told the lovely Miss Greta Garbo will be in attendance. I can't think of anything more appalling than spending time with that idle rich and sycophants. You should know, Bruce. Unlike these poor thespians, you were once one of them. My, how the mighty have fallen. I'm sure my father rolled over in his grave when his only son lost the family fortune. Yikes! All I have left is that rundown mansion in the outskirts of Gotham. Here's hoping it'll sell for a decent price. Is anything wrong, old man? You've turned positively pale. Oh, now I see. It's a woman who caught your eye. Well, don't let me keep you. And here I think nothing can surprise me more than you walk in the door. How you been, Red? I've been better. Do Mud and Jeff belong to you? Bruce Wayne, meet Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen. What do you say, Kent? How do you know Lana? We grew up together. Ah, that must be the Smallville sweetheart Lana used to talk about. Nice grip, farm boy. Can you at least try to be civil, Bruce? Where are my manners? Would you like a drink, Kansas? It's not illegal here. I don't drink. What about me? When you're older, pal. Seems to me that the last time I poured you a drink, you threw it back in my face. But don't hurt feelings. I forgive you. Forgive me. I'm not the one who betrayed my father and sold that Fifth Dynasty urn to those Germans. What can I say? I need the money, and the Krauts had a bigger bankroll than your father's university. Gee, very different Bruce here.
Yeah.
And by the way, how is Ted? Still searching for his El Dorado? He was kidnapped by the League of Assassins. Sorry to hear that. They're a rough crowd. I got on the wrong side of their boys in Morocco. I'm lucky to be alive. Oh, he has a scar. Luck had nothing to do with it. You're one of the few white men skilled with the Asian fighting arts. Help me rescue my father. Sorry, Lana. I don't do charity work. Bruce, my father found the Argos Codex. Well, that changes everything. If the Codex leads to Argos, I want to be part of the expedition. As a full partner. I didn't realize that our conversation had been overheard. Uh-oh.
This is kind of like Indiana Jones.
It is. It is intentionally like Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Have you come to spy on me or steal from me, my petite? And tell me why I shouldn't tie you in a sack and drown you. If information concerning the lost city of Argos thought it would be of value to Monsieur. And then speak, kitty cat, and pray I like what I hear.
Is that Hugo Strange?
Nope. Well, look at the color of his beard.
Okay. Oh, is that Lex?
Yep.
Okay.
So when I received word that Bruce Wayne would be visiting my dig, I made certain to double the guard. One can't be too careful around an infamous grave robber. As usual, my reputation precedes me. Everyone, I'd like you to meet Dr. Carter Hall, archaeologist and Egyptologist. Carter's also an expert in pre-industrial weaponry. He taught me how to use a crossbow.
He's also a big fan of birds.
Yep. Pleased to meet you, Dr. Hall. What's so important that you're digging up the whole desert to find? The burial chamber of the wizard Ka, who served the pharaoh Seti in the Force. He was said to be almost as powerful as the legendary Naboo. Jeez, look at all these bones. When one of the royal family died, their servants were buried with them, alive. That's creepy. Bruce tells us you can lead us to the League of Assassins. They have a settlement near a site I'd love to excavate. If they wouldn't kill my crew the first night we would set up camp. The League is a death cult led by Ra's al Ghul, the demon who defies death and is continually reborn. Some reports mentioning Ra's al Ghul as far back as the 1700s. So each cult leader believes himself to be the demon reincarnated. I hope that no dead guy I ever meet comes back from the grave. The elders of many desert tribes swear that Ra's is the same man they've encountered in their youth. Immortality is as much hogwash as reincarnation. You are limited by your Western beliefs, old friend. We have all lived many lives. All I want is to have my father back in my life. I'll take you as far as the Valley of Kings. Beyond that, you'll be on your own. We'll leave before dawn. I'll be ready. Sorry, kid, but you're staying here. I'm not going to have your death on my conscience. But no argument. Ah, nuts. Where am I? Why does this place seem so familiar yet so foreign? It's so deathly quiet. Am I the only person living here? Wait, that girl's been watching me from the shadows. Come back! Don't leave me! The city's crumbling beneath my feet! I don't want to die alone! Ah! What a dream! It felt so real. There it is, the League's camp. Apparently assassins don't need sleep. Something's going on, and I can't tell what it is from here. It appears to be some sort of funeral procession. You must have the eyes of an eagle, Kansas. What's your secret? Vegetables? The funeral's exactly the distraction we need. The hooded fellows are the League's inner circle. As long as they're occupied, our chances of survival are greatly increased. The tent's the only one with guards. We'll find your father there. And sure enough, they knocked them all out. But, Daddy, Lana, St. Kevin's, I was so worried. You were worried. I was absolutely frantic. They told me they'd hurt you if I didn't cooperate. Is that Bruce Wayne with you? And Clark Kent? My word, what an unlikely pair. I don't know what I'd have done without their help, Daddy. And don't strike up the band yet, sweetheart. We still got to get out of the camp. Rachel Ghul has brought me here to translate Argosian documents in his possession. I can't believe them. And leave them behind. They're invaluable. Grab what you can, Professor, because we're not coming back. Now put those blankets on. They'll make us less conspicuous. Follow me. I can't help wondering who the dearly departed is. It's Rachel Ghul himself. Shortly after I was brought here, one of his assassins challenged him. I watched them fight to the death, first with knives and then their bare hands. Rage killed the challenger first, but was mortally wounded himself. What are they doing now? As I understand it, they offer their blood to restore their leader's life. I've never seen anything like it. If it's a show you want, I'll get you backstage at the best burlesque house in Paris. But right now, we can't afford to be this. Oh! So in this case, it's not Lazarus. It's just blood.
Okay, and that's very Indiana Jones. There you go.
And that can't be Rachel Ghul. The professor told us he watched him die. Perhaps the body can be reanimated, but not the spirit. And therefore, nothing remains but a mindless animal, devoid of heart and soul. For a moment, he's insane. And yeah, he's slaughtering all of them. Mm-hmm. Bruce, we've got to do something. Let him slaughter all of the assassins. They're killers. They deserve it. Maybe you can stand by and let that woman be killed, but not me. Look out! Oh, and Clang! There's something you forgot to tell me about your old friend Kent, Lana. Either he's the luckiest man alive or he's made of steel. Mm-hmm. I always knew Clark was a little stronger and faster than your average Joe, but that's one trick I've never seen before. We shouldn't stand here, miss. He might attack again. No, the madness has passed. My father has returned to his senses. It's Talia!
Okay, there
Father,
you go.
tend to the wounded and cover the dead and prepare my best. I'll deal with the Americans shortly. Damn, Kent's Boy Scout rescue cost us our escape. No doubt you have many questions about what you witnessed earlier. Over a century ago, I found the means by which life can be restored to the dead. Unfortunately, as you saw, resurrection renders one temporarily insane. Maybe the Roots believe you're over 100, but I don't. No more so than a finely tempered blade shattering on your shoulders, Mr. Kent. Someone who looks as young as you do, as you to be that old is quite unbelievable. Oh, then there goes that line. That must have been a freak accident. Don't be so modest, Kansas. I've got, and if you've got any more sword tricks up your sleeve, don't hold back. The longer we keep our hosts entertained, the longer we stay alive. I don't mean to be rude, but what do you intend to do with us? I've no reason to harm you or your friends, Miss Lang. Like your father, my fascination with the fabled city of Argos has led me all around the world. In Afghanistan, I found the writings of a 7th century Islamic scholar who claimed that the creation and destruction of Argos was caused by something called the Godstone, a device of cataclysmic power. I brought your father here to decipher these tablets, which I hope will lead me to Argos and the Godstone. According to the Arab scholar, the Godstone is far too powerful for any one man to wield. For ordinary men, perhaps, but not for one such as I. I have waited several lifetimes to create a new and perfect world from the old ashes of the old. You sure and are you saying you use the Godstone to destroy the world as we know it? Exactly, Mr. Kent. Consider that the Great War fought a decade past will not be the last conflict to consume the globe, and each succeeding war will be fought with an even greater weapons of destruction. Mankind will destroy itself unless I intervene. I don't deny man's capacity for violence, but I refuse to discount man's potential for compassion and charity. Not everyone shares your faith in humanity, Mr. Kent, nor do they share your remarkable strengths. Tell me, are you married? What? No. Why do you ask? I am a keen judge of men. In you, I sense great strengths of body and character. Oh, offering Talia because Bruce isn't the detective!
Oh, there you go.
What my tongue-tied friend Clark is definitely trying to say is, he'd be honored to marry your daughter. Huh?
Volunteering Clark. Oh, I love that costume.
Yep. Your father's servants dressed me and perfumed me. I'm afraid I must look like a fool. Oh my. I knew you. I knew the moment you braved my father's rage to protect me that you were an exceptional man. Do you like jazz? Jazz? I don't understand. My father sent me to finishing school in the United States. My roommate was from Chicago. She introduced me to swings and the blues. You're a very interesting girl, Talia. I'm afraid I cannot do this. Is this about the redhead? Are you in love with her? In love with Lana? I was once, but that was a long time ago. I can make you forget her. Our children will be beautiful. Why? Why do you pull away from me? I might be a real sap for giving a knockout like you the brush off, but I can't be part of your father's plans. My parents taught me that there was nothing more precious in life. Your father worships death. Bruce, what are you doing? The girls are taken out of here, Valentino. Ray would never believe I'd harm Talia. True, but he also knows that I killed one of his assassins, and I'll do whatever I have to in order to stay alive. You can't hurt her, Bruce. Promise me that. You're a better man than me, Kansas. Done. I'm sorry, Talia.
This is a very different Batman.
I told you! And even Superman's still different enough.
Yeah.
Ever consider a career in the ring, Kent? With a haymaker like that, you'll be a natural. We're being pursued. They want Talia more than they want us. Time to split up. I'll catch later. What if you don't? Then get the professor and Lana out of Egypt. If I survive, I'll find you. Go! Dead end, American. My father's men will be here soon. In Japan, they say warriors who fail fall upon their own swords in shame. Gosh, sweetheart, I can't imagine why your father's so anxious to marry you up. Give my regards to your father in hell. He's gone into the cave. Worry not, my princess. The infidel will pay for laying hands on the daughter of Rachel Ghul. Oh, but he has his own technique still. I hear you, little man, that you killed Farouk in Morocco. He was my brother. Ah, my eyes! Side's on fire. And I must have been poisoned. Oh, and then...
He sees all the bats.
And this must be the burial chamber Carter was seeking. And you must be the great sorcerer Ka. Hope you don't mind if I collapse. We waited in Cairo as long as we could, Lana. Carter Hall promised he'd radio of us if he had any news about Bruce. You know, he always said that the only thing worth risking your life was for money. Why do you have to be such a damn hypocrite? Don't write him off yet, Lana. If anyone can run rings around the league of assassins, he can. You two look like you could use some cheering up. You're going to love this and love this. I made a chalk or imp of the tablet Ray showed us. But you said Ray still has the codex. I didn't need the codex. I have it memorized. This is a navigational chart that pinpoints the location of Argos. And don't think you can leave me behind this and when we find Argos. No, sir. Uh-oh. Is something wrong, Clark? Torpedo! Is anyone hurt? My ears are ringing. I'm fine. This happens to me all the time. Why would anyone attack a passenger vessel? We're not at war anymore. The boat's starting to take on water. We better get to the lifeboats. Uh-oh. Well, help! Somebody help me! I don't know how to swim! Jimmy! Oh, Bibbo! Easy does it, little buddy. Bibbo's got you. There's something down there. What do you mean, Mr. Kent? Like a sub? Not like any sub I've ever seen. Look! Greetings. You are no doubt wondering why I attacked your ship. The first reason is I am a pirate, and this is what I do. My men will salvage anything of value from your sinking vessel. The second reason concerns certain passengers traveling with you. To Professor Thaddeus Lang and companions, I extend an invitation to board my ship. My name is Alexei Lusor.
Of course.
So how is this?
This is cool. I like this
I told you before this was a fresh one, didn't I?
This is very different. Like, wow.
I know, it's so fresh. I mean, it is just as different, but in its own way as the dark side.
I will say, I want McFarlane to make action figures of at least Clark and Bruce.
With these outfits?
With that, yeah, wouldn't that be so cool?
Heck, I would love to see him do it with Lex or Alexei.
Yeah.
That big beard of Santa beard and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Dobry and Yinksfer, good evening. Welcome aboard my ship, the Leviathan. I apologize. And of course, now we have 20,000 leagues under the seas.
Yeah.
I apologize for the unexpected nature of our formal introduction, but I felt it necessary that our dealings be conducted in private. You torpedoed an ocean liner so you could take us and talk to us alone? What kind of monster are you, loser? Careful, Lana. We can't exactly walk out of here. If the welfare of your ship's other passengers concerned you, was assured that their mayday was received by a Spanish freighter en route to Gibraltar. Incredible. You must be more than a mile below the surface. Wow, this is just like the latest Captain Marvel adventure in the Daily Planet. One more exciting, only more exciting and more real. I imagine the ship's builder reads Jules Verne as a child. And what Verne could only imagine, I have transformed into reality. The Leviathan is powered by hydroelectric engines. She travels at speeds up to 75 knots and can withstand the pressure at depths of 3,000 meters. Then why squander the intellect that building such an astonishing craft on piracy? Surely you have something more to offer the world. Mr. Kent, I was under the impression that American reporters were by nature cynical. Unlike you, I don't believe in charity. I take what I need. My genius cannot be fettered by mere financial concerns. Why go through all this trouble to Shanghai us, sir? Like yourself, Professor, I've always been fascinated by the legends surrounding the lost city of Argos. I was concerned when I discovered a desert madman, Ra's al Ghul, had kidnapped you, in order that you might translate ancient documents which reveal the location of that mystical city. You seem to know a great deal about my father, loser. I have a web of informants around the world, Miss Lang. When you, Kent, and the boy left Paris with Bruce Wayne, my men trailed you to Egypt. They notified me when you booked passage to Brazil, and so I intercepted you. The legend says that Argos was created and destroyed by a talisman of great power called the Godstone. Imagine what could be accomplished if such power could be harnessed. One might change the course of rivers, break the Earth's atmosphere, even split the atom. Ra's al Ghul sees the Godstone as the means by which he can cleanse the world for his faithful. I wouldn't trust either of them with the Godstone. If it exists, Ra's al Ghul is a fanatic. I am a man of science. Look at this. I recovered it from the hold of a Spanish galleon that sank in 1512. The symbol translates into some kind of warning. What kind of jewel is this? Oop! I've been unable to determine the gem's geologic origins. But I hope to find more when we reach Argos. I'm sorry, Captain Lucer. I won't help you. Whatever treasure that city may hold, it belongs to the world. I wasn't offering you a choice, Professor. Let him go, Lucer. Something's wrong. Eh? Normally I would kill you for that front, Mr. Kent, but you are a journalist. I think it's only fitting you live to chronicle my discovery of Argos. But they're heading down there like, Abbas, have you heard? Muhammad and Khedive disappeared last night. Was our master away? Perhaps they sought a little earthly pleasure. Muhammad, maybe, but not Khedive. He abstains from drinking women, and they are not the only ones to vanish in recent days. Don't tell me you've been frightened by Abba's story of a demon. The only thing to be feared is the wrath of Ra's al Ghul when you learn they deserted. Perhaps you're right, my friend. Abbas? Abbas! Oh!
Yes!
And die! Where's Ra's al Ghul? I would die before I betrayed my master. Where is he? No, you cannot escape me that easily. This will kill the flames. Shh. Once more, tell me where your master is bound. Answer, and you can take your own life or flee. I do not care. Refuse, and your life will be long and painful. No! Clark! Lana, I was dreaming. Where am I? In one of the Leviathan staterooms. We brought you here after you collapsed 2 hours ago. Gee, Clark, you really went down for the count hard. I guess I did. The last thing I remember was, Lucer! It's good to see you regain consciousness, Mr. Kent. Please remember you are here at my indulgence. Don't cross me again. What do you want from us now? I wish to inform you that we've reached our first destination. My home. This sure beats my walk up and back in Metropolis. Looks like you could fit downtown Smallville inside that joint. How do you wish to handle the arrival, sir? Let's guess Hamilton. and prepare the rooms in the West Hall. This is the second time we've been somebody's guests at gunpoint. I'm not crazy about the company, but you can't knock the service. I could spend hours in here. Roman statuary, medieval tapestries, Renaissance paintings, and all quite genuine. Remarkable. These things but be worth a fortune. He's a pirate. Everything and has probably been stolen. Not true, Miss Lang. Well, I admit to liberating some of these pieces from less deserving hands. Much of my collection I have unearthed in remote locations or dredged up from the bottom of the ocean. What's this? That is a 3,000-year-old solid gold hook, supposedly worn by a king of Atlantis after his hand had been lost in a battle.
What's up, Arthur?
Who are you, Lucer? How did you come by all this? I was born Alexei Lursevich and demonstrated in St. Petersburg in 1877. I was an inventor whose genius went unrecognized by the fools around him. After Russia lost the war with Japan, I showed Tsar Nicholas my plan for the Leviathan. He dismissed me. Nicholas couldn't see that I was giving him the means by which Russia could be control the seas. Realizing the atrocity and aristocracy was doomed, I left St. Petersburg during the riots of '05. I would fund the building of the Leviathan myself. A band of former Cossack and cavalrymen turned highwaymen needed a leader. It was my planning. We stole and hijacked a small fortune. By the time Russia entered the Great War, the Leviathan was under construction. And by the war's end, she'd proven herself seaworthy. But enough of the past. Let's talk about the future. I've looked over the navigation instructions that Professor Lang translated for Rachel Ghul. It seems that Argos lies here, in the mountains of Brazil. It could take us months to penetrate the country's rainforest. And even if the Leviathan can navigate the Amazon, it can't help scale a mountain. Oh, Professor, the Leviathan is my only means of transportation. Impressive, no? Imagine, this jungle has held its secrets for millions of years, secrets that are now mine to unravel. Lucer, your genius is dwarfed only by the size of your ego. In Russia, women know better than to speak out of turn. You need a real man to break you of this ridiculous American notion of equality. Pretty girl like you should know her place. Pink! Miss Lang, you try my patience! Lana, if you ever touch her again, Lucer, I swear, you're a fool, Mr. Kent, to challenge me a second time. You passed out when last this amulet was open. Perhaps it possesses some radioactive property to which you are vulnerable. What an absurd... Ugh. I think I have proven my theory correct. Get that thing away from him, you monster! As you wish. Let us put this needless antagonism to rest. Hamilton, please see Mr. Kent to the door. And I'll find another writer to be my Boswell. Stop! You can't be serious! If I was a bigger pal and you didn't have that gun, stay back. Das Vidanya, Mr. Kent. Oh, and there she is, Professor, just as the Star Shark's promised. Argos! My God, it's everything I've imagined and more. If only it hadn't caused Clark and Bruce their lives. Don't you worry, Lana. We're not going to let Lucy get away with murder. Forget about your childish thoughts of vengeance. When you're old and feeble, you'll tell your children about this day. The day that Lucer discovered Argos! Follow me, man! I want to find the Godstone before sundown! Daddy, come quickly. You want to see this. According to these symbols, we're looking at the last queen of Argos. It appears that she unleashed the Godstone and so destroyed her city. A tragic tale, Professor, but one that gives more credence to the Godstone's power. Look at this knife. I've never seen a metal like this before. So light, its edge is thin as paper. Yet it slices through thick jungle vines more easily than a machete. Ka-caw, ka-caw, ka-caw! Like, uh-oh! And Bozamoy! Like, you are too late, Captain Lucer. I have already claimed the city for my own. You would be wise to hand over your weapon. Rachel Ghul, you'll pay for this insult! I don't see Clark Kent with the Langs. Where's my betrothed? I hate to break the bad news to you, lady, but Clark's dead. That rat Lucer pushed him out of his plane. Monster! I swear you'll suffer 1,000 deaths for killing my intended. Ha! Don't make me laugh, girl. Control yourself, daughter. Such an outburst does not become you. Yes, father. I am saddened to hear of Kent's death. I saw in him untapped potential. I killed him as easy as I'll kill you, Rachel Ghul. Let us be civil, Lucer. Our race to the city was close. Except that I am the victor. I didn't seek a desert bandit capable of mounting such an obstacle-laden expedition. I may not have your magnificent arrow wing, but I had the advantage of a head start. This city holds my destiny. Once I recover the Godstone, I will be able to use it to reshape the world. If you think you're fast enough to use that blade on me, you're mistaken. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. You have nothing I require, Luther. Tie him up. If he tries anything, kill him. Kent? What the? Relax, Kansas. Bruce! We thought you were dead. What are you doing here? Trying to catch up with Rachel Ghul when I heard the local Indians mention a man who fell from the sky. Imagine my surprise when I discovered it was you. I got on the wrong side of a Russian named Luther. He's holding Lana and her father captive in the city. They aren't alone. Rachel and his assassins are there as well. That makes you and me late for the party. There's supposed to be a hidden stairwell carved into the mountain somewhere, but that could take us days to find. We don't need stairs, not the way I intend to go. You amaze me, Kansas. Blades break on your back, you survived the fall that would have killed anyone else, and now this. You've been wasting your time as a reporter. You could make a fortune on the stage. I've always been a little stronger and faster than the average Joe. Never saw any need to call attention to that fact. Now tell me what happened to you. Why the strange armor and helmet? Can't imagine you ordered them from the Sears catalog. You may not believe what I'm going to tell you. Hell, I'm not sure I do. After I led Rachel Ghul's men away from you and the others, my only avenue of escape was a nearby cave. I took care of my pursuer, but the cave floor collapsed, and I found myself in the hidden burial chamber of the Egyptian sorcerer Ka. Unfortunately, I was dying, cut by an assassin's poison-coated knife. As I struggled to remain conscious, I heard a voice. Now is not your time to join the dead. Then I saw Ka standing over me, rising and risen from the dead, larger than life. What you once feared, you must become, for our fates are intertwined. I will give you life, and you will give me redemption. Then I passed out, and I awoke. My father had and my fever had broken, and my wounds had healed. More importantly, I knew what's the deal, and what that the deal was Rachel's assassin. I had assumed Ka's mantle and become a warrior of the night that they would fear as much as their master. I know it sounds crazy. I'm in no position to judge. Lately, I've been haunted by dreams of another world's destruction. Maybe we both need to be committed. Later, there's the city. You know, this isn't the triumphant entrance, I'd imagine. Something about it seems familiar. Not to me. Never seen architecture like this before. Look, Ray and Rash's men have Luther. We're going to have to get past them. Let me take care of that. By the demon! Sound the alarm! Ching! Glad you're on my side. The way that you tore into those guards, I can say the same. Where'd you learn to fight like that? Hong Kong. Kent, untie me. I know we've had our differences in the past. Differences, Luther. And differences, Luther, you threw me out of a plane at 5,000 feet, and you survived, which I admit I did not consider possible. But now let us put our animosity aside, so together we may stop Rachel Ghul. Sorry, Alexei, my dance card's filled. But he left the dagger. You see that at the bottom?
Yeah.
And something's wrong, Kansas. You look lost. Lost. I'm stunned. Everything about the city reminds me of the ones in my dreams. I know it makes no sense, but I feel like I've been here before. I've never had much use for the concept of predestination, but considering the events that brought us both here, fate seems as good an explanation as any. There they are. Race doesn't seem to have hurt them. So what do we do? Bruce? I hope you know what you're... Oops! Hey, look at that! Either I'm seeing a ghost or that's Clark up there. My God, you're right. Thank heavens. Who's that with him? And Talia. I can't express how happy I am to see you once again, my love. But I must warn you against interfering with my father's work. Kent, your survival confirms what I have believed since our first meeting. You will make a fit husband for my daughter. Now behold, the Godstone, destroyer and creator of worlds. With its power, I shall remake the world. No, is that you, Wayne? Do you truly believe that the arraignment of a long-dead sorcerer might cow me into submission? I am neither that cowardly nor that superstitious. Move away from the Godstone, or what, American? You are powerless to stop me. We'll see about. I can't move. The power to control men with but a word or gaze has been known to Eastern adepts. Long before Franz and Mesmer introduced what you call hypnosis to the courts of Europe. I have waited countless lifetimes for this moment. At last, I hold in my hands the means by which I can cleanse the world of its imperfection. What does this look like? I deliver a paradise to my faithful. Don't do this, Ross. You have no idea what forces you may unleash. Have no fear, Professor. Its power is mine to wield. See how it pulses at my touch as it recognizes its master? By the prophets, I can feel its ancient energies washing over me, transforming me into something more than I. No, the power, it's too much. I can't take any. Ah! Father, Talia, no. Your father is becoming a live wire. You'll be killed.
A live wire.
I know. The Godstone has rejected me. It wants. Well, what does the Godstone look like?
Brainiac?
No, the Eradicator.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Did you hear that come from the Godstone? I prepared my father's dead body twice for resurrection in the Lazarus pit. 2 times I helped him cheat death, but now there's nothing I can do for him. Nothing. Tough break, kid. Kind of hard to resurrect someone when there's no body left, because he's basically disintegrated, yeah. Hell, there aren't even ashes to scatter. Clark, what do you think you're doing? Can't you hear it? The Godstone. It's calling to me. Have you gone mad? You saw what it did to Raish. Get out of my way. Clark, what makes you think you won't be consumed like my father? Bruce! Gee, Lana, didn't know you cared. I can't help myself, Talia. The thing is inside my mind, trying to control me. Why do you resist me, last son of Krypton? And this unit has awaited your arrival for 3 millennia. What are you? This unit is a Harbinger global matrix, programmed to restructure the geographical and atmospheric configuration of this planet to match that of the Kryptonian homeworld. I don't understand. You are Kal-El, the planet Krypton. Without this unit's guidance, your development has been seriously impaired. Why are you doing this to me? You were born in the last solar cycle of the planet Krypton, which was soon after destroyed by a geothermal cataclysm. Before their death, the Kryptonian Science Council sent this unit to seek out a habitable world and prepare it for colonization by the Kryptonian children that would be sent in creche rockets. And when they did not arrive in the specified time, this unit became dormant. Now that this unit has established a neural link with you, we will recommence the world's transformation into a new Krypton. Your pretense of humanity is over. You are the avatar of Kryptonian dominion. Clark, what the hell's happened to you? Clark Kent no longer exists. I am Kal-El, last son of Krypton. Zowie! Kent, the Godstone's power is rightfully mine. If I have to kill you 1,000 times to reclaim it, rest assured I will. You melted my gun with just a glance. How is that possible? Clark said he was the last son of another planet. Could an entire race of supermen have existed somewhere beyond our solar system? Hey, Clark melts something else, will ya? That was the greatest. With such magnificent power, the world is his for the taking. The Harbinger has given me purpose. I shall reshape this imperfect world into the Kryptonian ideal. The age of man is over. Today begins the new Kryptonian order. Whoa, big fella, you're beginning to sound like Luthor and Rachel Ghul. Someone in the Esoc knocked some sense into you. Those who stand against us will be eliminated. Stop it, Clark. That's not you talking. It's the Godstone. No matter where you were born, you're still Clark Kent, the sweetest, most decent human being I know. Kent, help myself. The thing is in my head. Can you choose to resist us, Kal-El? Embrace your destiny. Once I get like Darkseid, Kryptoners just assholes.
Yeah.
Leave me on! Your time among the lesser species has tainted your judgment. This inferior culture imprint must be erased from your memory. No! See how badly he struggles to break the Godstone's control over him? Yeah, but he's going to kill himself if he keeps it up. Ouch, that's gotta hurt! Your efforts to sever our bonds is useless. Bruce, I'm too weak. Can't hold out much longer. Don't let the Godstone use me to destroy everything I love. The ceremonial knife Raish held. Not of this world. This knife? You can't mean the human will not be allowed to damage the Avatar. Strike before the Godstone's complete control. There must be some other way to break its hold on you. It's too late. Kent, don't! If you won't do it, then I will. No! Tink! And sure enough, you have damaged yourself irreparably, son of Krypton. This body can no longer serve as the Avatar. Know that your actions have condemned your race to extinction. This is my home. Beloved, you've got to stop the bleeding. We cannot help him. His wound is too deep. Talia, sorry things worked out this. Shh, don't talk, my love. Lana, I didn't. I know. Bruce, I know. Damn this place. So the Godstone is not of earthly origin. What an even greater prize than I met. Ah, my hands! It burns! Oh my, Lucy's getting away with the Godstone. Don't worry, Professor. I'll stop that snake. I think not, boy. Now, if there's any more attempts to stop my exit, I'll snap this sorry whelp's neck. Ah! Stupid kid. Oh, making his way there. Dad, I don't know if that's the bravest thing I've ever seen or the most foolhardy. One thing's for certain, Lana. He's not the Bruce Wayne we knew in Hong Kong. I've had enough revelations for this lifetime. Clark might be alive right now if I hadn't dragged him halfway around the world. Now is not the time for reclamations, Miss Lang. There's still a chance to save your friend, but we must hurry. I hope you know what you're doing. Long ago, my father learned the secret of restoring life to the dead. He never traveled without the herbs and medicines that once applied in solution, allowed him to rise time and time again, like Lazarus from the grave. Your father's resurrection drove him into a deadly rage in which he killed 3 of his followers. If the same thing happens to Clark, we better keep our distance. I cannot say what will happen. My father was the only man ever to survive the trauma of rebirth, and there's no guarantee this will work. I'm not sure if anything's going to bring Clark back, but the way I figure it, we've got nothing to lose by trying. I envy you, Miss Lang. You grew up with him, played together, shared confidence. No matter what happens here, you'll always have memories to comfort you. I have only a stolen kiss and the promise of what may never be. There, I've done all I can. His life now rests in the hands of fate. Forgive me, my love. I have failed you. But then, the sun!
There you go.
Once I've unlocked the mysteries of this alien science, I shall destroy one of the world's great cities to demonstrate my power. Perhaps I should decimate Paris. I never could stand the French. No matter, and better I should reduce Metropolis to rubble. Show Washington that even the United States is vulnerable. Wait, I have it. I'll obliterate Moscow and end this preposterous communist revolution. Mother Russia will welcome Alexei Lusevich Demistrian as its savior. Don't mind me saying this, but you don't look so hot, Mr. Lucer. If you ask me, that screwy Easter egg's making you sick. What do you know, boy? You're nothing but an uneducated sea urchin. While I shall soon assume my rightful position as master of the Western world. Geez, you're even more nuts than I thought. You dare call me insane? I'll kill you for that impudence! Not today, Luther! Ugh! Like you should have stayed in Egypt, Wayne. This doesn't concern you! I won't let you use that Godstone to further your petty dreams of power. Then you'll die like your friend The throttle! You fool! You've sent us into a tailspin! Hold on! To what? The controls are smashed! You've doomed us all! Whoa! What? The Godstone falls into my hand! It's a sign I am destined to survive! You gotta do something, Mr. Wayne. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. The controls are shot. The plane doesn't respond at all. Brace yourself, kid. When we hit the water, this plane's gonna fold like an old newspaper. We should be dead. What happened? I've got a pretty good idea. Look! Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, da, da, da.
Okay, I see that.
Sorry about the rough landing. Clark, you big lug. We thought you were pushing up daisies this time for sure. Apparently, it's more than a mere chest wound to it'll take more than a mere chest wound to sideline Mr. Kent. I've tired to say for my unexpected good health. Now, where's the Godstone? I don't know. Lost track of it during our nosedive. Say, fellas, I hate to break up this swell reunion, but we ain't in the clear yet. We'll see if your newfound superhuman abilities protect you from this, Kent. This time, I'll make sure that this ancient amulet's effect on you are fatal. You won't get that chance, Luther. Be thankful I'm taking this away from you, Luther. It's radiant. He took his hand off!
Mm-hmm.
And look, it was turning him robotic!
Oh, jeez.
Its radiant power was never meant for mortal men to bear. No, it's mine! The Godstone was never yours. It was the last hope of a dying planet. And although I am that planet's last son, I refuse to sacrifice my adopted world for what I never knew. Ordinarily, I'd say no man could survive an explosion like that. But we know better, don't we, Mr. Wayne? It's over. The Godstone, the Kryptonian Harbinger is no more. Hooray! You did all right, Kansas, for a man from another planet, says the man dressed like an Egyptian bat. But thanks. Despite our differences, Batman, it's clear that we clearly make a dynamic duo. Agreed, Superman. Let evildoers beware. The World's Finest by Jimmy Olsen and Jerry Kane.
Oh, there you go.
The deputy mayor's been poisoned, and the Joker. When knowledge of their exploit became public, the Daily Planet christened them Superman and Batman. But before they gained world renown, they were first my friends. Oh, I miss you both terribly. Aunt Lana, what are you doing down in this musty old cave? The party's upstairs. Forgive me, Kara. There's nothing more embarrassing
Kara? Oh,
for an
jeez.
old woman than being caught up in nostalgia. Wow, are those your old journals? Here, take them. I pulled them out for you anyway. So very much has been written about your father and Bruce. It's important to separate the truth from the legend. No, he said your father and Bruce, but then said she was called Aunt Lana, which means Clark got together with Talia and Bruce got together with Lana.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's important to separate the truth from the legend.
It's like a fusion of the Fortress of Solitude and the Batcave. That's cool.
Yep. If my personal involvement colors my account of these events, so be it. I don't have to be objective. I was there.
It was Candor.
Yep. So what'd you think?
I like that. That was a cool story.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, it was fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the most fresh and original Elseworlds, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, exactly. And I liked how they like fit everything together. Like,
but that took curves.
Yeah, and when the way they reinvented certain characters, like Lex, like the Eradicator, like Kara, for darn sake, and I'm like
Talia.
Yeah, so Kara's basically Damien in this universe.
Sort of,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, what did you like best about the story? Would you say it was like the whole package?
Character designs for Superman and Batman look amazing.
But yeah, but would you say definitely though, like the whole package is just damn good? Which villain did you prefer, Raish or Alexei?
Raish. Well, plus the other thing that really helped the story again, it's like it's an Elseworld story that didn't include Lois Lane.
Okay. Besides
that, really good. I liked Raish Al Ghul. I liked how they I like how this is basically an Indiana Jones movie, but with the DC characters.
Yep, and Jimmy was interesting. He wasn't the load.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, overall, and what about the artwork? I gotta say, I think the artwork was better here than it was in Darkseid.
Yeah, a little bit.
More the coloring. The coloring was better, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree that the coloring was better? Because it felt like the coloring for Darkseid was a bit washed.
Yeah, I agree too.
By comparison.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, John Francis Moore, really good writer that I don't think has done much lately.
Yeah, he hasn't, which he should be able to because he's a pretty decent writer.
Oh yeah, I mean, he worked on Doom 2099.
Yeah.
He was the writer for American Flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there is one other Elseworld we can go over one day in the future that he worked on, but it's not a Superman one. It was Batman Houdini.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Also, wait, if I remember right, I think he was the one. Wait, which one did he do in that Elseworld? Because he wrote something in that Elseworld Giant Size that we went over.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, or maybe not. I could have sworn he did, but yeah, he also he did that Superman Under Yellow Sun graphic novel, which was basically an adaptation of one of Clark's novels he worked on.
Okay.
Did you know about that one? Oh, hold on. Yeah, it basically post-crisis, Clark was also a novelist.
I see.
Hold on. Yeah, and such he would write stories that was loosely based off of his adventures as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's an adaptation of that done in the graphic novel format. Hold on. Hey, take a look at that cover first. Looks like a novel cover.
Oh, that is so cool.
But yeah, and it's treated just like that, like a novel by Clark Kent. It's signed like it's Clark Kent. For my parents, Jonathan and Martha, whose love and support give me my real strength. And then we see, it's basically this adventure novel.
That's cool.
But then Clark tears it up, throws it away, and he's basically like, who am I kidding? This is going nowhere.
That's cool.
And basically, eventually follows off of him going on through his own adventure as Superman, and it inspires his story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, look, and the artwork by Gerardo Barreto, who we've seen before. And I will always remember doing the famous Superman speeding bullets, where he became Batman.
Yeah, I love that one.
And Lex was Joker. Yeah, look at this here. Under a yellow sun, floating in the encompassing warmth, he felt reborn. And one life abandoned, taken away by a tropical breeze. you're a hard man to track down, Mister and Guthrie. So just look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's one thing I love though. And look, clearly looser, but not really looser.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, this is just this idea of Clark being capable of writing this stuff. And I'll be honest, this is something that's been exclusive to post-crisis Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be honest, I don't think New 52 Clark would have any interest in novel writing. Nor would I think he have the patience for it, to be honest.
You don't know that.
The way he was handled, I really don't think he would. Personally.
He was a very prolific writer.
Journalistic writer. But again, as you can see here, it's already taking this Clark. This Clark's already having hard patience, keeping his patience for this book.
Everyone deals with writer's block.
True, but like I said, just deep down, it's just my gut feeling. You know what I mean? Based off of how Clark was writing. Now that though, I don't think any of the other writers would care to do it.
Yeah.
This felt like something that, again, this felt like something that the post-crisis writers felt, at least the Triangle era writers felt Clark would do in his spare time.
Yeah.
Oh, look, stop gentrification and displacement.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean, though. I don't think any writers would even care to have Clark be a novelist. I mean, they barely seem to tolerate him being a newspaper reporter anymore. Sometimes I feel like they'd rather him be Superman all the time.
Well, the thing about it, the thing that New 52 did better, because they were like, no one reads newspapers anymore. Let's have them run an internet blog.
Well, but even then, they barely did anything with that.
Even then, they barely did it. But I'm like, at least they approached it from that angle. If they had fleshed that out, that would have been better.
But again, I think a lot of the time they writing in New 52 felt like, I think they almost railroaded themselves into a corner, put themselves into a corner with Clark in that, oh yeah, this and that, but being a journalist isn't what it used to be. And it soon became like you had writers who seemed to care again more about the super rather than the man.
Which is hilarious because a lot of the writers that handled New 52 Soups were like classic Superman writers like Dan Jurgens, who had written him when he was out.
But Jurgens tried. Remember, Jurgens didn't last long on that.
Mm-hmm.
Jurgens did not last long, so I would not bring him into that as much as you're thinking. And
Jeff
Johns tried
to. In the Jurgens run, he didn't bring in Doomsday, so I'm like, okay, he broke his one-trick-pony thing.
But no, Jeff Johns tried to bring him back into the planet, and it was only the writers right after him that shot that to pieces by doing the truth.
Truth storyline. That's why I'll never forgive Tomasi.
Wait, Tomasi did okay. I'm talking about the
Superman Wonder Woman portion of that.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other portions.
That was still bad. I'm just like, that was a tough time to be a Superman.
And I'll be honest, I thought Bendis handled it better. Oh, no. The outing.
Careful, sir.
No. I'm saying the outing was handled better because at least Superman chose to do it.
Yeah. See, here's my problem with that.
The reasons were dumb.
Here's my problem with that. Robert, he had a good... It was an interesting idea, a cool way to take the character. Okay, I understand that, and I partly agree with you. What they should have done, which I can't believe Bendis never did that, so the Daily Planet is not attacked or Smallville is not bombed.
Oh, no, he did. No, he did have the attack happen. The House of Kal-El story.
They did?
That was a big reason why you had Lex and all the villains attack Metropolis during the events of Year of the Villain.
But no, beyond that, I'm like, no one tries to like kill Lois Lane because a lot of these villains would.
I know.
It puts his entire family at risk.
Oh, that's what I just said the reveal itself was handled better than having Lois stupidly and very out of character for her, just out him to help him.
Arguably, it's in character for Lois, but that's just me.
Yeah, New 52 Lois, not any other version of Lois.
Well, according to Tom King, he basically made her do the same thing in Heroes in Crisis.
Again, Heroes in Crisis was a bad story.
It doesn't matter, it's canon.
So then, by that logic, Wally was a psycho.
It's canon. I don't like it, but it's canon.
But, again... there's a lot of movies that have canonicity disregarded if it was bad, right?
But it still happened, and they just referenced it in comics.
When did they just reference?
Someone, I think it was like in Batman or something like that. Someone held up the Sanctuary mask.
No, wait. You sure that was Sanctuary and not oh, what's his name?
Here's how I know it was Sanctuary. The last line of the comic is Sanctuary.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna ask, because you do know what Anarchy has a similar mask.
It's definitely not Anarchy, because someone said Sanctuary. It may not have been Batman, but it was in one of the books. They were holding up the exact action Sanctuary.
I'm not saying Heroes in Crisis wasn't canon, but again, everyone agrees though that was horribly written. Even it's right up there with Greg Rucka's Lois Lane book as far as mishandling Lois.
Had it been, see, here's the thing. Had you been able to treat that, because what I always say is that I don't think there would have been that much of a backlash against Heroes in Crisis had what DC did to Wally West not happened. Because part of that would have been people reacting.
At that point, Heroes in Crisis would have just been forgotten.
Yeah, it would have been like, okay, it's just a forgettable story. But with that, yeah, that's my ammunition. Because guess what?
And the death.
Because guess what?
All those deaths. I don't think that's true. I think all of the deaths, especially having Roy and supposedly Wally, even if Wally didn't commit the crime, him being dead would have been enough to piss everyone off.
Yeah, but still, it wouldn't have.
Wally was sacred. Wally was sacred by that point.
Yeah. Plus But once again, I'm like, hey, this is why I tell people, because I brought that up, and they're like, and people have brought up, well, we like to pretend that storyline doesn't exist, and I'm like, well, you can't do that because it's canon.
I'm not saying we ignore that happening. The very least, I think most writers, unless they reference what Lois did, it's them brushing it under the rug because it clearly had no significance. Because it was so poorly handled, and because it was against, that was illegal what Lois did.
But
tells you that Tom King doesn't understand journalists. That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't. Counterpoint, death metal, everything's canon.
Okay, but again, it's up to people to acknowledge it.
No, I know. It still happened. It still happened in the DC.
Okay, but dude, let's be honest. You're mostly enjoying it because it makes Lois look bad. Be honest.
No, I enjoy it because I also like the idea of superheroes dealing with trauma because...
Oh, no, that part. I'm talking about what Lois did. You keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
Because it makes her look bad. But in fact, it's one of those cases where you're like, it's a bad example for Lois, but there's been more good examples. I've shown you a bunch of good examples of
But
Lois.
A lot of the examples involve Lois putting herself needlessly in harm's way. It almost makes her look stupid.
No, it tells you she cares.
Okay, we're just going to have to disagree to disagree on
this. The Greg Ruck of it. You acknowledge her helping that guy in the middle of the battlefield. You acknowledge that was good.
It's a good moment, but here's my problem with it. Hey, Clark, I'm being shot at. Can you come and help me out here?
But no, she couldn't. Remember, it was a war zone. The last thing she would have done...
He could hear her.
No. Well, yeah, that's why he flew over there. But the last thing she would have wanted was the Clark to come bail her out. And now I remember, she only got shot because someone was targeting her. It wasn't a straight bullet. It was later revealed it was Sasha who shot her at orders of Maxwell Lord.
Still, I'm like, to me, the moment is good. Don't get me wrong. That moment is good. It's just the setup and the reason for it is not that good.
Yes, it is. Why is it not? Because of the case where she knows if Clark comes there, it's making a statement. And what happened? He flew in there. The fighting stopped because he showed up.
Yeah. To me, it just seemed a little forced.
Yeah, well, but hey, at least that was politics handled properly.
Yes, it is. It's politics for people.
It's
not this way.
Yeah.
It's not as forced as Lois knowing how to use a Hellbat suit to fight the Eradicator.
Okay. What? Okay.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'll give you that.
Yep. I get that. But again, I've shown there are times where Lois, like during deaths and in the funeral. There was a point where it showed Lois could actually handle herself. That was mostly written by Louise Simonson. I mean, she tried to kick Closter. Didn't do much good, but she did a great roundhouse kick at him. Or when she went into Cadmus, snuck into Cadmus, in a wets and everything, she actually put up a good fight against some of the Cadmus soldiers they had down there.
Yeah. I mean,
like a drop kick and then punching them and flipping them and all that. Showing that
standard military guys, it makes sense because it's believable that her father, being who he is, would have taught her how to fight. That's believable.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Yes, a lot of times she goes in there knowing the situation's bad, and there's other times where she's in a situation thinking it's one thing and it becomes something else. That usually happens more often, where she thinks like, oh, it's something dealing with this one guy, and so that this guy's working with someone even bigger, and she's like, oh, this is a bigger story. She's not going to run because she also knows, yeah.
My other issue, and this is what Zack Snyder did Zack Snyder and Goyer did so much better in Man of Steel. At least in Man of Steel, she could figure out instantly that Clark was Superman.
Okay.
The greatest journalist.
Okay, again, there usually is other reasons that if you can accept to a degree, because one, he puts on an act. Two, the circumstances were very different. She didn't even meet, because remember this, she met Superman before she met and she didn't even meet Clark at all. So she went looking and found him through that. That is completely different from meeting Clark Kent and then having Superman flying around. Why would you even bother thinking, having to look that there's a connection? So that is apples and oranges. The way the story was handled was very differently in Man of Steel. That's my argument for that. Because, like I said, she was looking for the Superman and found Clark Kent.
But beyond that, even in the comics, and yeah, you make a good point on that. But even in the comics,
Why would you notice? You need a reason. Well, again, it's not just the glasses. People like to say it's the glasses.
I'm not talking about the glasses. She doesn't notice that he conveniently vanishes when Superman shows up.
Usually when that happens, at least post-crisis anyway, when that happens, usually the case where you can believe the separation happened. Like, everyone's running, everyone's scrambling. It's not you. It was in post-crisis. It was less as painfully obvious as it was pre-crisis, where it's like, I'm getting out of here. And like, we announced he's getting out of here.
This is the thing where you have this Jack dude, right? Because he was drawn jacked, at least in John.
Yeah.
And he's lifting like very light weights, and Lois is like, all this stuff piles on beyond the glasses and the act.
Again, if you have Lois there, she's again. Why would I mean? I say, why would she? It might raise a few eyebrows, but it wouldn't cause her to connect the dots right away, unless it's so.
Not just that. I'm saying that the disappearing out, because she has said in the post-crisis.
Oh yeah,
he seems to vanish every time Superman comes together. I wonder if they're connected, Lois.
Yeah. Oh no. But Byrne did do something to explain that at one point.
What did he do?
It was dumb. It was really dumb. But there was a point where Lois went and met Mom and Pa, and what did Pa Kent say? We raised both Clark and Superman like brothers, which made Lois pissed.
Wait. So they tried to make her believe that they were twin brothers?
No. They were just raised together. But yes.
Oh, God.
But that was brought up a little bit, then got thankfully ignored and shuffled away. Never brought up again because they realized how dumb that was. They realized how beyond stupid that idea was that they just ignored it.
Yeah.
But
again, according to Death Metal, that's canon as well.
Well, again, I didn't say, dude, when I say that stuff, I'm not saying that it was just, I'm just saying in universe, they just ignored it and pretend it didn't happen. But even though it was said and obviously acknowledged, I think eventually Lois just brushed it off like, oh, that was ridiculous. Probably Paul just being funny.
Which it's,
and then when
she found out who Clark was, she was like, that was a joke.
Once she find out the truth, she's like, looking, Jonathan, that was crazy. I tried not my best moment. Paul, even Jonathan would admit, like, wasn't my best lie.
By the way, real quick, Robert, do you know what popped up on my feed?
What?
They revealed the Superman S for the James Gunn movie.
That was a while ago and looks like Kingdom Come.
They actually have the colored version of it now.
Oh, let me guess. It's not the same color, is it?
I have it all pulled up. It's more classic Superman colors if you want to take a look at that.
Oh, but I gotta say, I do like the S utilizing the Kingdom Come. I like that.
And by the way, I do like his texture, and also it's just called Superman now.
Oh, really? It's not Legacy?
No, he retitled it. See, my problem with it is that specific S has a very specific connotation, and it implies an older, more experienced Superman. And
he's older. He's older compared to, say, obviously the Cavill one and everything. He's been around in the game a bit longer.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, technically not true, because there's a 5-year time gap between the Snyder Cut and Flash.
Okay. By that point, yes. I'm talking about in general, from what we've seen of Superman, we're opening up on a Superman who's not starting. We're not even getting the origins in this.
Well, no. We're not getting the origin, but James Gunn did say this is Superman early in his career.
But he's obviously. But look, I compare this to say Daredevil, the Daredevil movie, where now granted, that case they still showed his origin. Dropping that part, it was a man who was already well established. So that's what we're going here. We're going for a Superman who's at least established enough that the world knows him. They don't have to do his first appearance or nothing like that.
But still, that logo implies a older Superman.
No, I get the implication. I do get the now. Can I say this? I don't believe he's breaking bank with breaking the bank. That was dumb. People were spreading that rumor. It's like, where the hell did you come up with that number?
I don't buy that because there's no way Warner Brothers would give him that much money.
That goes against the whole point. That goes against the whole point of what Gunn said. That we're going to do it at much cheaper prices so they can actually make bank from when the movie makes, even if it doesn't do so well. That was the point. Keep it on the lower tier so that even if it maybe not flops, but at least doesn't do weak, like it doesn't do $1 billion, we still make a lot of bank. That's what he said, and that's the smartest thing to do. Stop trying to put millions of dollars into these movies, expecting to make quadruple the amount of money. Try and just make good movies. And not that you can.
If you do that, because if the movie's good, it can make $1 billion.
Look at Joker. Look what Joker proved.
It was extremely cheap.
Extremely cheap, and it made big bank, huge bank.
Now, again, I like the way this looks and everything. I'm still not convinced because I'm not convinced that James Gunn can keep his humor out of the movie.
I think he can. I personally think he can.
I don't think it'll be Peacemaker level. Absolutely not. No. But see,
I think it'll be the more somber moments. I think it'll be more Guardians 1 and 3, not 2.
Which I'm concerned about because I hated the humor in Guardians 1.
I said 1 and 3. I think it'll be closer to 3 if nothing else.
Still, I don't like it. At least
the joke to serious moment average was at its best in those movies.
I think 3 did it the best. I think so.
That's what I'm saying. I think
if he does that, I'll be happy. Now, again, I still don't trust Warner Brothers. So
we'll see. We will see. But
let me put it this way: being a Snyder fan has taught me until you're sitting in the movie, don't believe anything can happen.
That's true. But again, back to let's get back to talk about the story again, just to wrap things up. So. Big question then. How does this compare to Dark Side? The Dark Side. This is way better.
As much as I like the New God stuff and the way Dark Side, the way that story basically had Superman end up with that version of Wonder Woman, I was
barter, in other words.
Which is essentially in that year, using her as Wonder Woman. But in terms of this, the way I like this one more is that for one thing, the character designs were better. I liked the way that this story factored in the DC universe a lot more than
Hal Jordan. They reference
Hal Jordan, Hawkman, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but I will say this: I definitely found it interesting that the fact that Bruce lost all the money, the Wayne fortune and everything. He was a great robber.
This is Batman if he was played by Oliver Queen.
Well, yeah, I was better yet. You know what? Funny sad thing is, you know who I could see playing this Bruce Wayne?
Who?
Tom Selleck.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. He even had the mustache.
Yeah, but and the 5 o'clock shadow and everything. But it felt more like almost that Magnum PI mixed with Indiana Jones kind of a vibe. Like this guy who, this is one of the most clearly established one. I mean, Clark was Clark. Let's be honest. But this overall story was just really clever, really nice, and and short, sweet, to the point. To be honest, let's be honest there. Like, we know it was just the origin. We don't even know what happened in this world afterwards. We just know in general, and apparently, I guess Clark aged normally in this world.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, because Kara looking just like Talia.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing there. So she's
But-
basically Damien.
But yeah, but what do you think about pairing Clark up with Talia and everything?
It's an interesting choice. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
an
you have Lana
Elseworlds.
right there. You have Lana right there, but they also make it clear, oh nope, what they could have had is gone.
And you know what's kind of funny? That was a bait and switch done well, because you would think the entire story is going to end up with Lana. That's what I thought.
Or Selena. Or Selena.
Or Selena. I'm talking about Clark. But
I
then
know.
it's like, oh, okay, I see what they do.
Yeah, from the moment Raish paired them up, you just think like, they're not. No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought they were going to do what they normally do with Talia and Bruce, where it's like, will they, won't they, or something like that.
But there's no reason. Why? Why would they?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
There's nothing about this Bruce that would interest her. It's just like, you're scum.
Mm-hmm.
But Clark, on the other hand,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about the fact that the Lazarus Pit is more like something you would have to create in any body of water?
It's kind of like the Fountain of Youth, kind of, and I dig that. That's a cool, because this seemed to be going for as grounded as possible as they could do it. There's still some fantastical elements.
Oh yeah,
Because
this felt like a golden age, a pulp. This was a pulp novel.
Yeah, it felt like that. They were kind of going for as realistic as possible, so it makes sense that they wouldn't go with like magic water that just brings people back to life.
Nope. Instead, it would be, oh no, you need the specific, herbs and everything in the water, and a blood sacrifice and everything.
Yeah.
But apparently now here's the big question. Do you think it was the Lazarus Pit, or do you think water, or do you think it was the sunlight?
I think it was a mixture of both, because we did see Raish come back to life in the early story.
But they also set up they don't know how it would have affected him. I think it was the sunlight that kept him from going insane.
That I could see. That, because that was my question. Why didn't Clark go insane? But I was like, okay, the sunlight, that makes sense.
But what do you think also about the fact that both this and the Dark Side show Kryptonians as utter assholes?
I hate that. I hate whenever Kryptonians are shown as emotionless automatons.
But let's be honest. Moore does that worse than Byrne did.
Yeah, per se.
Say what you will about Byrne. At least Jor-El was the exception. Laura was almost there.
Yeah, it's like I always like the way that this is the one time I'll compliment Bruce Timm, where the way the Kryptonians were in Superman the Animated Series, because they were basically humans in that sense. They weren't like robots.
They were closer to the pre-crisis version.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why they decided let's make them basically Vulcans.
Well, it's because let's be honest. One, it makes a little bit of sense when you really think about it, a little bit. And guys, look at what we came up with when we found out when we did that Superman Doomsday thing. For one, they didn't create the cloning technology. Remember that. They didn't create it. It was left there by the Doomsday Project.
But again, the reason why I don't like it is because it plays again into that whole Superman is what I can do, Clark is who I am thing, and it's the writers that have done that.
But one other thing going on. Now, unfortunately, you and I can't go over this because I've already done it long ago. But I did. There was the Superman Last Son of Earth.
Have I read that?
It was Steve Gerber. It was an incredible one where basically you have science professor Jonathan Kent, who left Smallville because despite his father, finds out that his wife is going to have a baby, and then he finds out this asteroid is coming to Earth. But the strange thing about it, it's appears to be both coming and going. Something about it. So he decides to make a rocket that sends it out there into space with his young son. A wormhole takes it and sends it to Krypton, where young Jor-El finds it. But the funny thing about this, though, it's later revealed that what was Byrne's. This is clearly Byrne's Krypton. This is handled just as well. He followed the rules of Byrne's Krypton and everything, but then he revealed ancient Krypton. Byrne Krypton was actually more of the pre-crisis Krypton in their use. Right down to
more.
No, but revealing that ancient Krypton was more pre-crisis Krypton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. You should check out those videos of mine. Because seriously, that's also one of my favorite Elseworlds. That is also one. Because you have even Superman become a Green Lantern.
Yes.
Sorry, you have Kal-El become a Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will tell you this though. It would then lead into Last Stand on Krypton, which then ends pretty tragically, bittersweetly. But that was also because Steve Gerber did have a grand finale that he never got around to. And you know how I know this? The man told me himself. Yep. All right, well, I got it going. I got to start getting myself set up for Tekken 8 tournament tonight.
Have fun.
Yep, it'll be on Tristan's channel, but that tells you when this was recorded, but it'll be well past by this point. So thank you, Jared, for joining us. Thank you, everyone else, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.